Making the Invisible Visible, Black Women 365 Days of the Year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
Yes, so my name is Marcia Brissett Bailey. I would say, what do I bring to the world? I'm going to say this, it's strange, but when we had what we call lockdown, I decided to just start sharing my story, my journey as somebody who's dyslexic and how that felt. What I've learned in my journey and what I want to share in the world, that it's okay, and to remove the shame, remove the feeling that you're not inadequate. And I feel for me, I didn't realise I was doing that. By sharing my story, it enabled others to find their voice and start to think about their own neurodiversity and what it means for them. And I've become a bit of an advocate, but it wasn't intentional. What it was about my healing story, about me releasing, I guess, how I was feeling and working on my inner child of being told I wasn't good enough. The fact that when I was diagnosed with dyslexic, he was like, I'm Black, I'm a woman, and then I'm dyslexic. Are you kidding me? What else? What other complexities do you want? I'm a storyteller. I'm a visionary. I like to tell stories through vision. I dare to dream. I feel like becoming an author is something that I manifested when I was 10 through Maya Angelou, seeing her and the traumas that she had, because I also selectively muted as a child. To see her inspired me to feel that I could write too. And even though it was like maybe 30 years later, my teachers told me I was never good enough. So here I was writing a book, and I don't want other people to feel like that. And I guess my work is being part of that through all the things I've done, working in the community. For the many years I've done that, being in education, it's all about giving others to feel that they are able to be them, be intentional about what they want and bring joy to that. That's a big one. It makes me emotional because I'm learning also about grief. Both my parents died 3 years ago, and I'm learning about connection. My work is also you can have grief in different ways. It doesn't have to be grief of loss of people, but it can be grief in relationships with friends. So I feel like my work, even though that's not an intentional thing, it sounds strange to talk about, but what I'm learning is that I guess things are not straightforward in life. And I feel like in all of these kind of journeys I've had, I feel my careers advice, which I am a careers advisor and a practitioner supporting particularly young people with special education, I want them to know that life can be rough and it can be up and down, but it's okay. It's how you, I guess, you be consistent, how you work that muscle to be able to be resilient. I mean, my long goal is to continue writing. I am writing my second book, and it's ironic because the book is about Black men who are neurodivergent. A lot of the themes that are coming up are things that I've shared in the book about men's own views about visibility, showing up. So I feel like I touch on things where I believe in, like looking at representation. I like to provoke the narrative. I just feel like we've all got something, if we want to, in our storytelling to tell. And I want to do that. I want to tell stories through people's life, injustices, and that's kind of a little bit about me. So definitely my grandmother's love. My grandmother was my inspiration. Let me just give you an example. My grandmother used to tell me little things like, make sure, it sounds funny, but make sure like you can count the people you have relationship with on one hand. You can have one good friend and that is enough. Don't feel you have to have all these. So people around me, what I've learned now is that you can have lots of people, but they're not all your friend. So that's probably one of my personal experiences, all those little lessons that my grandmother's told me, and now they're coming to practice. And I definitely would say writing the book Black, Brilliant and Dyslexic has shaped me in my adulthood, because I had the courage to write my story, but I enabled others to write their story. And even though that's more newer, that shaped me, but the grandmother stories, I can tell you loads, I don't want to bore you, but they have really been instrumental now in my adulthood. They have really served me. Something that Maya Angelou said, forgive yourself for what you don't know until you know it. And I think we have to have compassion and be kind to ourselves. And that gives me joy to start remembering that. Because sometimes when you be hard on yourself or think I should have done this. And then some of those things of being hard on myself is because of my dyslexia journey, where I didn't know what I didn't know. And that helps me to bring me joy that, Marcia, stop being hard on yourself. Try to just relax a little bit. And you didn't know it, so now you know, then you can do something about it, you can do something different. I think that quote about forgiving yourself for what you don't know until you know it is something that I keep with me like a little Polly pocket, to just remember when you're just kind of trying to be something hard on yourself. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.